here in Los Angeles, we have about 15 different food stores, but they're owned by the same two companies, right? So and the one company owns Ralph's, which is the most, I think, prevalent food store in the Southland, as we like to call it. Ralph, they're called Ralph's, which is a funny name for a food store, right?
Yeah,
right.
Never thought of that before.
I'm going to get some food. Where Ralph's? I'm going to Ralph's, and might get a bowl of soup over at Puke's. And then we're going to go for a nightcap over at Upchuck's. So Ralph's is the place. And Ralph's is screwing over their employees again. Now, Ralph's, let's remember that they made, I think they're owned by, they might even be owned by a hedge fund at this point, but they made $3 billion profit last year. So that food organization.
Even though I always used my Ralph's Club card and got discounts every time, and they still made that kind of money?
You're sticking it to them, and they're still making the big money. Okay. So they're trying to screw over their employees again. They want them to pay about an extra $1,100 more a year out of their paychecks for their health care, which they had already previously negotiated, but now the company wants to screw them out of it. So an $1,100 more a year might not seem like a lot, and it's really nothing if you think about it, and you own a chain of supermarkets. So the union's threatening a strike, and the company says they're willing to negotiate in good faith for as long as it takes the union to cave.
Right? Sounds about right.
Yes. But don't they, for their health, instead of a health plan, shouldn't they just not eat at Ralph's?
Instead of a, well, they do have some
in lieu of a health plan.
In lieu, they do have some healthy stuff at Ralph's. But so ABC, the local ABC News, they took a camera down to Ralph's to ask uninformed people about how they feel about the whole thing. And let's listen to what some of the customers have to say.
Everybody's got to give right now. And I can't even tell, I don't even want to say on air how much I pay for my health care.
Everybody's got to give right now is what that lady says. Everybody's got to give right now. There's one more lady. Let's hear both these ladies. There's another lady who has something to say.
The strike is not right. We have enough problem in California, and this add more problem.
Yeah, that's right. The strike is not right. We have enough
Did they talk to anyone that supported the strike?
They did talk to two people, but I don't have that. I don't have those clips. So they had two people who were like that against the strike, and then two people who said they should. They were before the strike, and let me just ask the question: why will the Republicans always manage to have a minimum of 50% in America? Why? Because these ladies are the quintessential voters. I don't get to have affordable health coverage in the wealthiest country in the world. And instead of seeing the injustice in that and supporting people who are trying to turn that around in this country, she goes, I'm going to see the injustice in other people getting better health coverage than me. That's the real injustice. So if I don't get it, they can't get it.
What's great about this country to her is being able to buy Hot Pockets.
Right?
Well,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the thing when you pride your nation. And listen, I'm not bashing our country. I love our country. Get out. Is that what you're telling me?
Why not bash it? Just me.
When competition and being number one is so completely ingrained into everything in our society, it can't help but come back and bite you in the ass in certain places. And I think people a lot of times, instead of rooting for your fellow man, you want to make sure that you're doing better than them. And so naturally you're going to get things like this where this woman doesn't want somebody else having affordable health care coverage.
And it's kind of almost like, Paul, it's like thinly veiled racism in a sense. Like it certainly is classism.
It's classism.
It's classism, and because this lady, she's going to go, wait a minute, I'm white and I work in an office, and here are people who work at a grocery store and they have better health benefits than me.
Yeah.
That can't be. Right. So if I've got it bad, everyone who I perceive myself as being lower than me in the economic world has to have it worse than me. Right. And not that, oh, wait a minute. If you work at a grocery store, you can have health benefits. Well, I should have health benefits. I work in an office. Like, it doesn't work that way for her brain. Yeah. It goes the opposite way.
Right.
And I wonder, is that just natural human instinct to be that way, or is that because of the country we live in?
I think it's both. Yeah. I think that it's the right now you have the plutocracy that runs this country putting out a their value system that they are blanketing the country with is that if you don't have what you need, it's your fault. You're lazy. You're irresponsible. We've heard Bill O'Reilly and Lou Dobbs say that.
Everyone say that.
Right. So if there's something wrong with you, if you don't have a job, it's because you're lazy. Right. They want to be on unemployment. And if you don't have your health care, it's your own fault. You don't have a good enough job. I had a cop in Los Angeles tell me that if you don't have health care, maybe you should get a better job. I go, what about all those people who work at Walmart? The biggest retailer in America doesn't provide health coverage to most of the people who work for them. What are they supposed to do? And he's like, well, they're not smart enough to get a better job. That's what they deserve. That's what they deserve. Wow. So there is a certain amount of...
So it doesn't matter if you're not working and you're on unemployment, you're a bum. And if you have a job at Walmart, you still don't deserve anything.
Right, yes, because you're still not morally as good as someone else because you didn't go to school and get enough schooling.
And we justify the war in Iraq because it's going to make Americans safer, and yet when we are actually literally unsafe because of our health, we won't spend the money to make us safe. We will pour billions into the possibility that we'll be unsafe, but we won't pour a dime into making sure that we are literally safe when it is imminent.
You're making the point that a lot of soldiers have come back from America have made the point that, there was no Iraqi who ever tried to kick an American out of their house. There wasn't an Iraqi who tried to deny someone health coverage. Those came from people
who manipulated the stock market
inside of America.
Right.
It's Americans who deny Americans who are kicking people out of their own houses. It was Bank of America. It's not an Iraqi. It was Blue Cross who was denying people coverage for their illness. It wasn't an Iraqi.
Goldman Sachs has hurt this country more than Al Qaeda could ever dream of hurting.
And if our country had any sense of taking action, all of the people at Ralph's would rush over to Gelson's and beat the crap out of those people.
Yeah, how about the lady who says there's enough problems and we already have enough problems? We don't like as if a strike isn't an attempt to solve a problem.
Right.
Like that's just another problem. Yeah, and
not having health care is not a problem apparently.
Yeah, and apparently that's not a problem.
That's
to them.
not a problem. It's not being able to pay.
Everyone has to give right now,
Yeah.
and that lady saying everyone has to give right now. It's like, do you realize that the cost of health insurance doesn't go back down after a while? It's not like we have to pay a little bit more for a few months or even a few years. It stays that way for everybody. It doesn't. It's never going to go back down. And the fact that she views this as a temporary sacrifice should have told that reporter that she was too stupid to give an opinion. But as with most local news, it seems to be your main qualification for a man on the street comment is that you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
But she was upset because her health care was too expensive.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I don't want to tell you, so why should these sons of bitches get a better deal than me?
The exact opposite of what she should be saying. It's like, yeah, we're all getting screwed now, so I'm going to stand with these people.
Yeah, and that's that competitive thing that is tearing our country apart.
It's turning worker against worker.
Yeah.